Feels good to be me. Every time I breathe, everywhere I go, well, I always know that I'm always me. Feels good to be free. Have the world at my feet. Everywhere I go, well, I always...
Hey,
Grace.
dude.
Oh yeah, Grace, were you drunk when you asked me in pod?
I
knew Grace was
smashed.
just destroyed to smithereens.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to No Pill Friday with Audrey Stewart, Danny Dunn, and Grace.
Grace, I don't know your last name.
I don't know your last name. You're literally my phone
like
is
to pull it for
Grace
Grace Doyle.
Doyle.
Grace Doyle.
I knew that actually.
Doyle. Grace Doyle.
Grace Doyle. Oh, it's Grace Doyle.
Grace Doyle.
Grace Doyle. That's like 15 minutes of her. And that's Grace Doyle.
And
Well,
that's
you-
it, actually. That's the whole episode.
Grace, what's your middle name?
McGowan.
Grace McGowan Doyle.
Grace
Grace McGowan Doyle.
One of our guests, Brett. One of our guests. He was also
I was like, who?
my friend.
Brett's someone that we also know socially.
I
We don't
know.
him from
He's
the podcast.
actually a friend, so that was messed up.
What's his name?
his
Brendan?
last name, I was like, Brent Doschendaffin,
It's Dodenhoff.
which is hard
Which,
to
to be
say.
fair,
That's a good name, though.
he's thinking
Yeah.
about changing his name, his stage name, not his name. He's thinking about changing his stage name to Robert English, Bob English, because his middle name is Robert English. Brett Robert English.
Isn't there a
Dodenhoff.
famous
What?
Bobby English already from
I don't know.
that movie?
What movie?
I'm Bobby English.
Oh, Sister of the Traveling Pants.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
I'm gonna
That's
look up
right.
Bobby
There you
English.
have
Movie
it.
with a flawless soundtrack, also.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I love a movie with a good soundtrack.
That movie
Come
has
to
the
No Pill
best
Friday
one.
for hot takes like that. I love a movie with a good soundtrack.
Me too.
Like
Ta-
Cruella. Did you guys see Cruella?
Oh
No.
my God, that was hella fire.
It was a fun
I'm going to look
movie.
it up.
It was hotter than the devil's dick.
Hotter than the devil's dirty
And the
old
devil's
dick.
dick is raging hot.
He
If
shoots,
I swallowed the devil's dick, I would turn into ash.
he shoots
So
gasoline
should we make
out
the
of that thing.
announcement about?
Should we tease the announcement, or
let's-
should we make the announcement?
I think we should. What do you think? Let's
tease.
say it on
Let's
three.
tease.
Tease it.
Oh,
Oh, do you want to tease it?
okay. Say it on three.
1,
2,
2, 3.
3.
Tease it.
Let's
Cheese
tease it. There's a big announcement coming in this podcast. All later in this podcast, not now.
We're
or
on
else why would
shrooms.
we be
No, I'm just
teasing
kidding.
it?
Mm-mm.
I took shrooms yesterday.
We are gonna take shrooms one
Just
day
a
for the
little
pod. That's fun, and then we're gonna
Just a
pretend like we
little.
didn't
Just
take
a
them, but we're gonna be
little.
Just
taking
a
them because we
just
don't
a-
want to get
just
in
a
legal
little bit.
trouble. But we're gonna take them. Anyways, so
we can't get in trouble for that.
yeah, I'll
Who's-
say
oh,
it was
who's gonna-
Play-Doh.
who's
It
gonna
was
get-
Play-Doh
oh,
that
who's
looked like
gonna
shrooms.
Bust us. Who's gonna bust us? You? You think
Actually,
you're
I
gonna
did.
bust us?
I've had
Fuck
several
yourself.
like. There's weirdly a lot of officers that follow me, and I only know that
What do you
because
mean a lot of
Why?
officers?
I literally
Of
will
the
check.
law?
For
I,
what?
Of
I
the
literally
law?
my latest
Is that-
follower. I
so that-
guarantee you is just a cop.
Is that so every time your car gets fucked, you can
I
just
don't even-
Oh, that's a
announce
good
it on
point.
social media,
I did
and
it-
they'll come to your rescue?
Bobby-
Bobby,
they'll come to-
Bobby English
yeah.
isn't.
Yes.
Bobby English is an actor.
Yes, he is an actor.
Shit.
I told you. I did a show at the Hollywood
Sorry, Brett.
Improv last night, and after I got off stage, I got some followers, and one of the followers was actually a few of them were cops. I swear. Yeah, here's one.
Hello?
20, officer of the law.
That's in his bio.
Yeah,
He
What
wrote
is
it
he, a
like that.
dork?
yeah.
Say his name.
No, we do have a segment called Name
Say his
Names.
name. Name that dork.
Name
New
that
segment.
Name
dork.
that dork.
You
Name
put it-
that dork.
You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have that in your bio, right? I think
Officer
that's
of
kinda
the
lame.
law.
Unless he's a stripper.
Not cool to be a cop,
he
bro.
might be a cop stripper.
Maybe
That
he's a-
feels more likely somehow.
Officer of the law. Your ticket is this 7-inch dick.
Oh, you're gonna write me a
So
ticket with
clearly
your
I'm unwell.
dong.
Oh,
I don't say dong. I've never said dong.
I say
except for right
wang
now.
You
dong.
do now.
I hate the word
I'm a dong guy now.
penis.
Dongle.
Put your penis in my hand. What if I literally went up to a man at the bar and said, "Do you want to put your penis in my hand?"
Put your penis in my palm.
I
So-
believe
Put
that
your
you have said
penis-
that to someone though.
I
I
literally
would not be shocked.
When I'm like hammered at a frat, I'm like, "You want to put your penis in my hand?"
You
Because I'm
talk
straight.
about Greek life a lot.
You do.
Okay, everybody chill out. Clearly, I'm living in the past.
When
or
I'm
you
hammered
know
at a
what
frat,
it is.
still,
Maybe
you're
a
like
lot of-
28.
A lot of the audiences that I have performed for are very Friday, so maybe I've just used to catering to them.
Maybe you should start catering to what's in here. If you're listening to the podcast,
Maybe I
I'm
should
pointing. I'm
just-
pointing to my heart.
Maybe I should just climb water and run, girl, buy, go, red flower, jump, dream music, and fucking suck.
You couldn't
on
have said that better.
You
You really could not have said that
mispronounced
better.
multiple
And
of
if
those
you're
words.
watching, this will make sense if you're listening. But if you're watching, there's like little, there's
fridge magnets.
fridge magnets. I'm just reading that.
And Audrey's only paying attention to the one that says
We're-
talk.
People don't know this, but we record this podcast from inside a fridge. So we're reading all the magnets that are on the inside.
But we have
of
to
the
read them
fridge.
backwards because we're inside the fridge
Because
and
we're
they're
inside the
outside.
fridge.
So that's why she pronounced mispronounced so many.
Grace is in like the cheese drawer. I'm like
I'm actually
I'm
lactose
like-
intolerant. Can I be
I'm on
anywhere
the top
else?
shelf.
Oh, brag. Okay,
I'm on
that's
top,
a flex.
I'm on the top because I'm the tallest. Although Audrey's like 6'8".
I thought she was like 7'4".
Audrey, how tall are
Everybody,
you?
I love this. 5'10",
5'10", 5'11".
5'10". Well, Steak and Shake says I'm 5'10".
Shout out
What?
Sard Arboglario owner of
Yes,
Steak and Shake.
yeah, you wouldn't get it because LA doesn't got those good Steak and Shakes.
I don't know what states it's in, but I know it's in Indiana.
I'll tell you what. Did we make our announcement?
No, we teased it.
That's a segment. Audrey burps.
Audrey burps.
But
Yep.
no longer because we have a new podcast. It'll still forever
The
be. 'cause it's
podcast is pivoting, and that more to come on that later. We're spinning off from ourselves, and it's still gonna be us.
You don't think we
it's
should?
just a
I
rebrand.
feel like we should just tell them because
At
now
the
they're
beginning,
yeah.
let's. Well,
You
this
could
is our
just
last
build so
episode.
much
Okay, this is
suspense.
our last episode like this podcast, but essentially what we're doing. Let's just
No.
tell them.
No. Let's. This is our last. We got to honor our last episode. Don't let our last episode of this format be overshadowed by the coming format. Let's enjoy our last ride, our final send off. Let's sit in these lawn chairs and enjoy the fireworks. And then when the fireworks are over,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
we were in a
stand up.
fridge.
I'm gonna look you in the eyes, and I'm gonna tell you what's coming next.
I thought that was kind of scary but exciting.
I
Like
thought
a
we were
date.
still in the fridge.
Like you're
I
on a
thought
date.
we
I didn't know we were on a lawn now.
And Grace texted me over the weekend. What a wild weekend! And Grace said,
Guys, this is Grace Doyle.
"This is Grace Doyle.
Doyle.
Grace Doyle rules." And she texted me and said, in all caps, "Let me come on the podcast and talk about astrology.
That's true.
Let me do it.
Let me talk about astrology."
I didn't hear. Please,
Please.
Grace. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to tell people about who you are?
Sure. I'm Grace Doyle. As we've established.
I have nothing
all
to
she
say
said
about
for
that. Okay,
like an
noted.
hour. She's like, "And
I'm Grace Doyle,
Grace Doyle."
and I'm Grace Doyle.
That's not how she. That's
That
not how
was
she
that was
sounds.
supposed to be a British accent.
It
Do a
was
British
not.
accent.
Grace Doyle.
That's
Can I
really
get
your British
canceled?
accent for real? You can't get canceled for that.
For doing a bad British accent.
No, people will just be like, "Oh, she's bad at that.
True.
She's just bad at that thing." But
I've
you
got-
can't. I think it's fine.
Has what's his face started his podcast here yet?
Meghan Markle.
Yes. No.
Prince Harry?
No, I love him. What's his name? He's
Oh,
a really nice comedian.
Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, someone who else
Amanda
was going to do the
Bynes.
podcast in here.
Oh,
Conan.
yes,
He started.
yes. Filmed the first episode this week.
It could be kind of fun to do like podcast wars one night.
You could do a crossover episode.
Yeah, one late night.
Are you
drinking
guys talking about
beers.
Rick Moranis?
Rick Penis?
Let me find out.
Put your penis in my palm.
Put your penis in my palm. And if you're listening to this episode so far, I apologize.
Set your penis down.
You're not sorry
in the
though.
palm of my
I've
hand.
never been sorry. I don't regret anything. I'm just kidding. I don't like that I said that. I feel like
don't
that could be
regret
like meshed
anything.
up and used against me.
Cut. Everyone who's watching, clip that.
Hey,
And
Wolf, go ahead and cut that out.
Clip that
How
and
many
use
times are we
it.
like, Wolf, go ahead and cut that out.
If you're if you're a fan of the pod, clip that and use it for your TikToks.
We gotta get to Grace
Oh,
Grace Doyle.
I'm just hanging out.
because we want to hear about your
Having a great
astrology.
time.
Grace, will you do your British accent? Do you want a sentence?
It's not very good.
Oh, that's great.
That was really good.
You are all teeth. You're all teeth when you do yours.
Which is crazy.
Danny, can we hear yours?
You have veneers. You have fake teeth.
I have fake teeth.
You do?
People, no. But I'm thinking about getting a hair transplant. If this hairline goes, hair transplant. No question.
I respect that.
I'm gonna get a hair transplant.
Okay, like you're any.
Is it an Indiana thing that
gonna
you
get
can't
a
do
hair
it?
transplant.
Or
I don't think you need
A
one.
quick brown fox.
Oh wait,
that was pretty good.
are you gonna be home for Christmas, December 20th to the 27th?
I haven't bought my flight yet.
Okay, well, guess what? Hoosiers that are listening or to any of our Indiana audience, which I think might be our entire audience, and then random jam in the van goers that
Hometown
accidentally stumbled on the
heroes.
page. We are doing a show at.
We are doing a show, or you're doing a show?
It's the Hoosiers are home for the holidays,
Hoosiers home for
and
the
it's
holidays.
LA
That's an
comedians
accent.
are
That's
doing
a
a show,
great accent.
and
You
you
did
will be
great.
on the show.
Do you want me to do it? Is this you asking me?
Yeah. Well, I think you should. It's like, and then, but it would be for everybody in our hometown. So like, lots of people come out. We did it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm
It
fine with that.
packs out.
I've been to it once before I was doing stand up a long time ago.
Oh, the dugout. You came to the dugout?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. But now you're gonna be a part of it. So
That sounds great.
strap in and strap on,
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Grace.
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay,
Indiana.
so tell us. Go. So Grace works here.
I'm the assistant at Jam and the
But
Band.
you've met her.
Guys, Grace works here.
You-
That's
I-
our reveal.
I made a guest appearance on the very first episode
She had some.
when Sydney
How far we've
talked
come from that
for
first episode.
my dead grandfather.
You know
to
what I
me,
noticed
yes.
about that episode before we
Yeah.
knew it was your dead grandpa? Danny goes, "Does Grandpa need a mic?" And then we all started laughing hard. And Grace goes, he's dead. He's my grandpa." And I was like,
I don't remember that, but I stand by it. That's a good joke. I
was a
stand
good
by
joke.
it.
That was funny. You know,
and then
yeah,
I was
you were
like,
right.
awkwardly gulped.
I was also
drink, and
wildly
like-
uncomfortable already in that podcast because I didn't know what we were doing. Audrey texted me, "Hey, do you want to be on this podcast?" I showed up, asked what we were doing. She said, "You'll figure it out." And then the cameras started rolling.
That feels right. Yeah, no, that sounds
figured
right.
And
it
not
out.
much has changed. Grace.
How much has changed?
Sorry I made fun of your dead grandfather's lack of ability to
Yeah,
speak
so we're
into a
here to have
microphone.
Grace on, so you can apologize
That's okay.
to
That's
her.
even funnier because
My grandma just passed
we
away,
didn't-
so I'm with you,
we
not
also
against you.
Did not know each other at all when that happened.
No. But now we're best
I
friends.
don't think that I knew your name when that happened. So, if I'm being
I don't
totally
think I did
honest.
either.
Yeah.
It didn't stunt our relationship. I would say
It
we're
did
pretty
not.
close.
I would say.
Are you trying to get attention over there?
I was like,
Stop
it's
it,
not
stop.
about me.
This has been crazy. Whatever's happening over here.
Me and Grace were talking about our blossoming
We're
friendship.
best friends, Audrey.
Yeah, I see that, and I'm realizing
Really
it.
cool
The
for
podcast
you.
that Audrey started is quickly turning on
Grace and
her.
Danny.
Grace and Danny, we're
well.
spinning off.
You
Welcome to
guys-
Grace and Danny.
you guys
Grace
really-
Doyle.
And Danny
You guys just put
Dunn.
your faces over
Talking
this.
friendship with Grace and Danny. So Grace, what do you like about me, huh? I'll tell you what I like about you. That'd be a fun pod. We'd
Oh,
get like 3
weird.
episodes. We'd get like maybe 3 episodes of it.
Maybe.
And the
Yeah.
third one would just be us going,
I'm sick
we
of
need
you.
to switch this format, which is like this episode.
Yeah, which is
For
why we're
Audrey and
switching.
I.
Wait, so let's get to Grace
Grace
Yes.
Doyle.
Doyle.
Yes.
Okay. Grace works here.
Yes.
Okay, Grace.
In
so
this-
you
in this
wanted to do
refrigerator.
astrology. So tell us.
Grace works inside this refrigerator. She's the
I
fridge
do.
monitor.
I am the fridge monitor. Thank
She
you.
runs the ice machine. She cleans up the produce. You
Make
know when you
sure
buy
they're-
parsley and little pieces of parsley get stuck in your
Yeah,
fridge?
yeah.
Grace
Yeah.
takes care of all that.
The bag
love
of
that.
spinach that's like completely rotten at the back of the drawer.
yeah.
Yeah.
No
that's-
one's ever using as much spinach as
No.
they think. And especially if you go to Costco, you get a big old
Oh,
bag.
I like
Mm-mm.
bags.
I
of
live
spinach.
alone. I don't.
Wait, we gotta focus. Get to Grace.
Are you the ref?
What
yeah,
is
I'm the
happening?
ref today because we were got
Should we switch roles?
No.
A role reversal?
No.
A role reversal? I drank some caffeine earlier and I'm feeling like Audrey.
I know. I'm like, Danny, this
New
isn't
segment.
like
Danny
you.
feels like Audrey.
Danny feels like Audrey. New segment, Danny. I like when you're high energy, but Grace, tell us about it. You. But really, you text me
New
about astrology.
seg.
Oh,
we want
yes.
to hear about
New
astrology.
seg.
Sorry. I also have ADHD.
Yeah!
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm very unmedicated for it. And astrology has become one of my like fixations. Yeah. So guess what I like about you? It is also applicable to you because I believe you are both Tauruses.
I'm not.
Are
Do you know
Gemini
that
then?
for a
Well, I'm
fact?
on May 21st, so
You're-
Gemini Taurus.
Yeah. But
Do
you're
you
a
know that?
Taurus.
Are you guessing that?
Are you a Taurus?
Yeah. How do you know that?
You just are.
We have way too many spiritual interactions
It's like when
on this
people
pod.
say that you're a Gemini and you're wild. It's like this. You just probably have mental illness.
I'm a Gemini. So can vouch that it's
You're like,
both,
oh, she's just a Gemini, but I'm like, but she needs
but, like,
medicine.
also
Me and
is maybe
Audrey were
clinically
self-diagnosing
insane?
the other day.
we were
Oh, that's always
self-diagnosed.
We won't
fun.
say for what.
We won't say for what.
Because
We,
some
we
people
both think we
have been
believe we
for
might
real
have a
diagnosed.
disorder.
Me and Audrey were both reading the symptoms of a very severe mental illness, and we were both like, "Shit, we might have that." Because Audrey was doing it for me, and then by the end, Audrey was like, "I think I might also have this." We went like 7 for 8 on symptoms.
It's
Oh my
pretty,
God.
it's pretty crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
Oh my
googled
God.
treatment after.
I'll tell you
but-
after.
Yeah.
You did Google the treatment after?
Yeah,
What's the treatment like?
it's just like this
We can't
like
give it away.
low insurance, but I'll show you it. Okay, but you need to get health insurance.
Oh.
Now the IRS is gonna come after you because I said that on this podcast, but that's good. Ooh, well let's start saying things that the IRS hears, and then that's more views on Jam and the Vans page.
Thanks, IRS.
Let's get the IRS involved so we can get more
go
views.
viral within the accounting and finance world.
Okay, Grace, to Grace.
I'll tell you
So
what.
ADHD, you have hyperfixations, and one of your hyperfixations is on
Astrology.
astrology.
What have
I am
been-
not an expert by any means.
What
I
have
feel
been
like I
some
should
of
say
your
that first.
past hyperfixations?
Ooh.
Mine was magic for a while when I was in
like
middle school.
close up magic.
In middle school.
Oh, I see
No,
that.
really far away magic. You'd be like 2 miles away, and we'd be on speakerphone, and I'd be like, "All right,
Pick a card.
is this your card?"
Is this your-
Pick your card, memorize
I'd
it,
be like,
memorize
I
it,
s-
run 2 miles, then be like,
Yeah.
do you have it in your mind?
I'd be like, "I swear to fucking God, I just pulled a rabbit out of a hat."
I'm fucking dead. I love Wild Danny. It's
Did
nice
you
to see.
Did you see how many colors just came out of my fucking sleeve?
You
Did
wouldn't
you
believe
see
how
that?
long the scarf is.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's 2
That's
miles
right,
long.
You're just gonna have to trust me on this. It's coming.
It's 2 miles long.
No, mine was magic in middle school.
Damn,
magic
we should
in
get a
middle school.
magician on.
That'd
Danny
be
Dunn
cool.
magician?
I know a magician.
Great.
Is it you?
And I just made it. No, I do
you
know.
you put on a
magician.
hat. I know a magician. So how do you guys laugh at each other and then I say something and no one laughs at my shit? Okay? What the actual fuck is going on in
Audrey,
here?
new
Y'all are
seg.
fucking flirting in the corner.
New seg. Audrey gets defensive.
I'm literally sagging away over here, just disintegrating in my own fucking sweat.
New seg. Audrey's insecurities are showing.
Oh yeah?
Audrey, what's one of your hyperfixations? Past or present?
Comedy.
Past or present? It can be past.
Comedy.
We all know that you do that. Past or give me a different one.
Give a pass
Give one that's interesting.
Give one that you're good at. Okay, bitch.
We just all know that
Depends on what
about
I'm
you.
doing. Like when I was running cross country, it was fucking cross country. That's why I won. That's why I was like,
you were good at cross country.
oh yeah, oh people.
no, not because
No,
it's
no,
you.
no, I know.
No, not because it's you.
Have I not told
But
the
I don't
story
know.
I
yet?
feel like it's hard
You
to be
just-
good at cross country.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
have I not told
Not
this
because
story
it's
yet?
Audrey.
You
Just
guys, let me tell
It's
this.
rare to meet someone who's very good at cross
No,
country.
no, 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 no. I was on. Don't be fooled. I was on JV, but here's the thing. I was really good. I
New
could.
seg.
I got.
Audrey
I could have
lies about
gone.
her accomplishments.
Could have gone.
Wow.
Probably varsity, but people made bets that I wouldn't finish the first
I
race.
could have gone. I think I could have gone.
so you're
varsity.
motivated by spite, is what I just heard you
People
say.
were like-
Hey,
people
if
were
a
like-
couple things had gone my way, I think I could have made varsity.
This is the worst podcast episode I've ever participated in. I'm just kidding. So pretty much,
I could have gone varsity if the coach had been a little more.
I made my JV letters into a varsity jacket, and that was a little embarrassing. Walking around
That-
the cafeteria with JV letters.
And you wore to school.
Well, you know what? People were like, "Oh, she's not gonna finish
Wait, was
the
that
race."
a thing? You guys like wore your varsity jackets like to school?
Oh yeah,
Like,
on
was
spirit
that for
days.
you too?
Danny and I's high schools
was not a
actually
thing.
were rivals.
We were rivals.
Oh
He was,
shit!
he was in the rich school.
It's really coming back now. I can really see that.
That
from
was the
both of you.
stereotype of our school.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't true. It wasn't.
Stereotype for a reason.
There's it's a stereotype. But that's why we hated each other. We didn't hate each other, but we were like rivals. It was like, ooh, caramel, because we were both public.
We were in the same high. It's so funny we're talking about this. We were in the same high school conference, athletic conference.
Gotcha. Yep.
So you were kind of rivals with everyone who's in
Yeah.
your conference.
Yeah.
And me and Audrey,
Hated
just
each other.
foes. Just
Hey,
two.
Danny and I.
Casual foes.
Just two
and,
foes.
and Danny and I fucking hated each
Just,
other.
man, you look so cool with those glasses on.
$20.
Guys,
Target.
if anyone's just listening, Audrey looks so fucking
She looks
cool
so
right
fucking
now.
cool.
Wait,
right
so
now.
Grace, your hyperfixation is astrology,
Currently.
and tell us about that.
Okay.
What was one when you were younger?
When I was younger, reading, and that has honestly come back a
Ooh,
lot
that
this
was
year.
one of mine too.
I
reading?
will gobble up books. Gobble them up.
Can't put it down.
Yeah, no,
What
absolutely
kind of
not.
books are you reading?
Oh,
Fic?
that's great
Fic
for a
or
kid with
non-fic?
ADHD.
Thick.
You reading some fic?
Thick.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a fast reader. Like, I was always a fast reader. So then I was like, oh, I can do this quickly and just get more information all the time.
Are you
And I
reading?
was like,
are
I
you reading
love
to
this.
enjoy or to get to the next book? You're like, I gotta get done with this book so I can have read another
Oh, good
book.
question.
Depends on the book.
'Kay.
Because sometimes.
What?
Sorry. No, sometimes it's just like, wow, like this is really engaging. I want to keep reading. And sometimes it's like, well, I'm already this far in. I don't want to not. It's like if
Okay.
I start, I'm going to finish a book, even if it takes me a year and a half, which some books have taken me
Follow-up
that long
question.
to read. Yes.
Have you ever cried when a book ended because you didn't want it to be over?
No. What book?
Can't tell you. Audrey, you ever done that? I didn't mean to make your. I didn't mean to
read
make
like
it about me.
the Boxcar Children.
Boxcar Children, great books.
Great books.
Classic.
Okay,
Wait, I want to
What
hear about
book
the
did you?
astrology.
I want to know what book you cried at when it ended.
I'll tell you off air.
All right. I want to hear about the astrology.
I'll tell you off air.
Astrology is like the movement of planets, stars, all that stuff. And what it means, it is like a pseudoscience. Some people say they don't believe in astrology, but it's not a belief system.
And to
so
those
you can't,
people,
like,
you say what?
So-
I say it's not a belief system.
Oh, this is
So it's
interesting.
not something that you can believe in or not. Like the stars are moving and we're tracking
Stars
their
moving whether you
movements.
like it or not.
Hey,
That's a
listen
fact.
to me. Astrology is not a
The
belief
stars
system.
are
and
moving.
The stars are moving.
The
balls
moon
of
is gonna
gas.
wane and wax, and you can't do a fucking thing about it.
When the
So
crescent moon
get on board.
turns into a waning flax head, it is
Yeah.
out of your control.
Yeah. When that flax head turns into a gibbous, just
Ooh.
fucking buy in.
Like, I don't know. It sounds
I
Okay,
like
so
that.
but you,
I like
so
that
if you
perspective.
believe
Not-
that the
You
personality
can't choose to
comes
believe in something
with
that's happening.
the astrology.
like I just said, it's not a belief system.
Okay, so do you think?
Audrey,
I don't know. I think it definitely is. That's
What?
actually something about astrology though, and like personality quizzes in general. Because I am a slut for a good personality quiz. I'll say
It's
it.
like, I will
I'll say it.
I will rub myself in peanut butter.
But also it's common for kids with ADHD to look for that, and like the Hogwarts like sorting quiz and like the Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram, because it's ways to like identify your personality and to contextualize yourself.
now we're getting somewhere.
Because it's harder for kids with ADHD to like figure out
Who
they actually are, because so much of their behavior is impulsive and not like inherently thought out, that like they get so caught up in their fixations that like how do you know who you actually are? And so personality quizzes and stuff like that are often used
Oh my
by
goodness.
kids with ADHD to like give themselves an image of who they are and to give themselves a perception of themselves.
Wait, I see.
Wait, this is the most interesting thing I've ever.
That's what I was trying to get to, and now.
And so
we
that I
got
think
it.
I think that's why like astrology is so interesting, because
That
for
was
me at least it's a
so
way to contextualize
interesting.
myself. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Okay.
Yeah. I can.
I need to stop cutting you off. You're
Yeah,
really,
yeah, I want to hear. Yeah.
So
you're really.
I also
nailing this.
I'm not an expert at all.
That's okay.
I feel like I should say that. I do not claim to be a
You've
professional
never had an
astrologer.
expert of anything on
That's
this
true.
podcast.
Well, that's not true.
Except for maybe Dustin, James, and Sydney.
And Lauren.
And Lauren. Oh, she
Oh, we've
actually
had-
really was
Yeah,
an
she
expert.
like
I think
really
we
was
had-
an
Oh, wait,
expert.
we've had a
So
ton of
let's
experts.
actually.
I think
Never mind.
I think Brett's the only.
Brett's the only non
Brett was like, I don't have any trauma, except for when my nanny come in. We were like, what?
when he
Hello?
said that his babysitter made him bathe in his pajamas,
It was weird.
that was funny. I forgot that
I
happened.
know. I wrote that as one of the clip. I think the clip. To have a clip made of it.
I want to just watch it.
I know.
Should we throw to a clip?
Should we throw it to a clip?
Throw to a clip.
Throw it to a clip. Okay, so that is fascinating.
Yeah. So it's just like a way to contextualize yourself within the universe and just sort of be like, oh, like I guess that's who I am.
Audrey, do you relate to that?
Yeah.
Do you like find yourself seeking out Myers-Briggs and personality quizzes?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
I was like
I-
hardcore Hufflepuff.
Do you do that
I was,
too?
like, buying
I would for
merch.
sure. Oh, you were doing it with sorting hat.
Oh yeah, I loved Harry Potter. I was like, I am
Yeah.
a Hufflepuff.
Harry Potter
through
was the
and
book
through.
that I cried at when I was younger. That it was over. Yeah.
Does everyone think you were a Hufflepuff?
No, Gryffindor.
Oh, cause Ron Weasley.
Okay. That's not the entirety of it.
But is that most of
That's
it?
not the entirety of it.
Oh, wait,
But isn't
Susan
most of
Bonds.
it-
Susan Bonds was a Hufflepuff.
Bones.
Those were the only redheads.
I also fixated on Harry Potter. It was Bones.
Yeah. Ooh.
That
Does that offend you when I say that about Harry Potter, Gryffindor?
I
I'm a
that you
Hufflepuff.
thought I was a Hufflepuff, or that you thought I would only be a Gryffindor because I have red hair, or both.
I
Is
can
that
see
kind
you.
of the same
You're
thing?
kind of like you're funny, like Ron.
So which one was it then?
I got Gryffindor.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
So
End of discussion.
Okay.
Heard that.
we should have
We should get the sorting hat on here.
a.
Hey, sorting hat, if you're listening, we'd love to have
We're
you on
just
the
like
pod.
hammering. And we're like talking to like my hat. I'm like.
It's like one of Audrey's ball caps.
Right? No, one of my friends, when we were little, she had a like Harry Potter themed birthday party, and she had a younger brother, so they still had like the baby monitors from him. So they stuffed they put one in the top of a witch hat and shoved a bunch of like newspaper underneath it, so everyone got sorted. And like her dad was in the bathroom with the other
Wait, that's
baby monitor,
so
like sorting everyone.
smart.
It was really cool.
That
We
is
all were
cool.
sorted
I
into
love
Gryffindor.
I don't like how defensive I got about my Harry Potter house.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like.
That was the most defensive I've gotten in quite a while.
But
and
is
I
that
didn't
also
like it.
something? obviously it's something that you identify with, that you've like
Kind of-
associated yourself with.
Kind of emphasizes your point of I felt like my identity was threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your perception of me was not aligning with my perception of myself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Whoa, Grace
That's
is a
Grace.
genius.
That's great, Grace.
Grace, you
so
might be an expert.
so that's why. Okay, so what more about it too? Like what else can you tell us? Like that. That was good.
That was a
that.
good line. That was a good line
That was
question.
like good, like because this is a great the final. This is a great last episode for us only focusing on ADHD because we have that fun new
Twist
We have a
coming.
reveal.
twist
We have a
coming
reveal
that's going to
coming.
make our podcast a little bit more desirable than this hot body.
I think it's desirable.
Yeah. But we'll get a certain type of fan base that likes this thing we're moving into.
Yeah. Yeah, we're moving.
Porn.
Porn.
just kidding.
We're doing porn.
Talking
God,
about-
fine, we'll just say
We
we're
gotta-
doing
I'd probably accidentally
porn.
like puke the whole time. I'd be like,
We're doing porn, and we're wearing Teva sandals. We're wearing.
That's the
Chaco-
entire thing.
We're wearing Chacos. We're gonna alternate between Chacos and Tevas and Birkenstocks, and we're just gonna do porn in them.
I
Nice.
love that.
Yeah,
Respect that.
it was your idea, so.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is really interesting. I've never heard that articulated before.
Yeah.
And it is something I tremendously related to, where I could find it kind of like do a Myers-Briggs test, and be like, ooh, that is, I relate to all of this.
Right.
Yeah.
It helps me see.
Yeah, and
like,
it's a little bit
verbalize myself.
comforting too to read someone else say it and be like, oh, there are other people who think the way that I do and who like behave the way that I do, and here's why. Like, here's the motivations.
I love that.
And I don't know if either of
They
you
would give
ever-
a quote on the Myers-Briggs website.
Yeah.
And like, ooh, I love, like, the quote would like align to you, and then they'd be like, these are famous people with your, and it'd be like, oh, that's
Oh,
cool. This
that's
person's
cool.
like me. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, and it's like the same thing. I saw. Do you guys know what enneagrams are?
Vaguely.
I've heard jokes about it. It's like, oh, that's astrology for Christians, because it's like a number system. It's
Do you
like
want to
very
wage
like
war on the Christian church? Or
Yeah, okay,
Christianity?
Oh, I
let's
thought
fucking- let's
Enneagrams
fucking
were
go.
like devil.
mm-mm. It's like it's a number system. So you're a one.
Like hopscotch.
Yes, just
Oh,
like
a
hopscotch,
pentagram.
actually.
That's the devil.
Yes. Good.
Devil.
Is that your drawing of the devil? Or a
Is that a
pentagram?
pentagram?
It's the devil's dick.
The devil's old dick. Oh, make kerosene shoot out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
And that's
Uh-oh.
me eating it. I'm like,
Guzzle, 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 guzzle.
this is great. Last
That's
episode. before
beautiful
the-
art.
Not last episode of the podcast, but before we spin off.
Yeah. Oh.
And then the one we're spinning off from no longer exists.
Yeah.
So it's just a format change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Enneagrams.
It's just like a number. It's like hopscotch, like you said, like a number system.
It's like hopscotch for Christians.
That is.
Is that what you said?
What? No.
Danny, you said it.
But it's like a number system, like 1 through 9, and each one represents something else. And there's a bunch of different ways to like figure out what type you are, but the biggest one is like there's a core fear and a core core desire for each number. So, and then there's like a title for each one. So like I'm a 5, which is the analyst, and so my core motivation and core desire is to be competent, and like my core fear is to be seen as helpless and like useless. And so for each number it is different. So
Are the fears and then what's the opposite of fears?
desire.
Desires.
Like
Are the fears
motivation.
and desires usually the opposite of each other?
Yes.
The antithesis
So-
of one another?
Like type 1s are the perfectionist, and so their core desire is being like inherently good. And then their core fear is being bad.
Wow.
Interesting.
And so it's also about, like it incorporates a little bit of worldview and how do you see like your function, again, like your role in society. And so as someone with ADHD, being able to take a test and see, oh, I'm like this because I'm motivated by wanting to be useful and competent. Like, oh, things make sense. Like the way that I'm interacting with the people around me is clicking.
Do you then change your behavior to accommodate that? Of like, this motivates me, I'm going to use it to motivate myself? Or
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
be
to
conscious
some
of
level.
how
On
much it
I
motivates
almost
me?
feel like on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the
That-
Gemini thing, like when it's like,
What's the Gemini thing?
If you tell someone you're a Gemini, they're like, oh,
I'm
that
like,
true?
oh,
yes.
oh,
You're a Gemini.
And then I'll just start like doing things and being like, but I can do that because I'm a fucking Gemini.
Oh,
Guys,
I do
I
that
don't
a
know.
lot.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't know a thing about astrology.
That's okay.
I'm not opposed to it, but I
Wait,
just
so
don't know
when
anything
was your
about it.
birthday? Or do you do charts?
I could read your chart.
Yes.
Ooh, should you read Audrey's
But
chart?
you have to know
Yes,
what
I
time
will.
you were born, right?
Yes, you do. Do you know? Do you
Weren't
know?
you born at when the clock struck midnight?
And then my mom's
Say it. Say it.
cat sang.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think my mom said I was born around the morning. We lost my birth certificate.
That's
Real
That is the
bad.
most in character thing I've ever fucking heard.
We'll stop holding off this reveal now.
I
The new podcast is we're on a hunt for
for
Audrey's birth certificate.
certificate.
It's like cereal, but we're trying to find. a
It's
piece
like
of paper.
national treasure.
It's like national treasure, except for her date of birth is on it, and nothing's
And
on
instead
the
of
back.
Nick Cage, it's Audrey. But maybe we could get Nick Cage.
Well, if Audrey's Nick Cage, who am I? Am I the sidekick? That guy who's always complaining?
Yeah.
Am I that guy who's
Danny
always
Dunn, more like
complaining?
Danny Down in the dumps.
Am
More
I
like-
that useless
more
guy
like
who's always
Dan-
complaining? Can we both be Nick Cage?
More like Danny.
What if she's Nick Cage and I'm John Travolta and it's Face Off?
I'm done. Okay, let's see what time I was.
And we switch faces.
What time I was born?
Audrey, what year were you born?
What?
What year were you born?
1993.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
What time?
I think let's go with 10 a.m.
I would love to do a podcast where we try and find Audrey's birth certificate.
And where were you
I
born?
wouldn't even know where to begin
Indianapolis,
looking.
Indiana, at the Women's Hospital.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Save.
And then they thought something was wrong because I didn't cry.
Are you nervous to have your chart read?
Huh?
You're
No.
nervous to have your chart read?
No.
Do you want to do a medium reading of me while she does that?
Yeah, because I'm drinking. So.
Okay, do it.
Okay.
Grace, whenever you're ready, let us know.
I'll let you do this.
Okay, great. Wait. The podcast just turns into me trying to read people. Wait, this is fun. Hold on.
Try and read me, bro.
I'm trying. Hold on.
We're going to plug Dustin James again. Energy guide in Los Angeles. He's got a book coming out. He's great.
Ladle.
Ladle.
A wooden ladle.
Wooden ladle. I don't think there is such a thing.
Shut the fuck
A
up.
wooden ladle?
A
Wooden
wooden ladle?
Hold on. There's
Like wooden
wood-
spoons.
No, there's
I've
wooden
only seen metal
ladles.
ladles.
I have a plastic ladle.
There's
Okay,
definitely
also
wooden.
plastic ladles.
Only
Wait,
metal.
what's plastic?
Wait,
I've never
Wait.
heard of plastic.
maybe it's not for you, but there's a wooden ladle. And hold on.
Keep going.
What if I was like the Kardashians? Could someone pass and they look?
Kardashians.
Um,
I'm dating a Kardashian.
Okay,
Hold on.
Pete Davidson is dating Kim Kardashian now.
Pete
Apparently.
Davidson's operating this camera.
Why
What's up, Pete?
a white or a light blue car, like a very old-fashioned car, like almost like a Thunderbird kind of car?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to confirm or deny these things?
I
Or
know.
do you just want to
That's what I see. So something with that.
My mom's first car was light blue, and I would get when we would get spanked growing up, it would be with a long wooden spoon.
Really.
Yeah, but like, you know,
So
see if you
there's
can
two-
hone it
those
in.
are-
See if you can hone it in a
Wow.
little bit.
So those are two things that happen.
I mean, yeah, but you could have said like green grass, and I'd be like, I've seen green grass before.
I saw green grass this morning.
See, Grace is
But
loves
someone,
green
Grace
but
grass.
someone,
Grace is always
but
talking about
someone
green
was
grass.
around to know that and see that that's gone, and that's why they're showing me that.
Is it your grandmother?
Probably no, because yeah, but also doesn't.
My grandma who just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, that's my dad's mom.
but doesn't mean that she wasn't there for that.
For what? The light blue car and the spankings.
Well, she's trying to show me something.
My
We'll
grandma
cut all
wasn't.
of this
My
out.
grandma wasn't around when I was getting spanked.
You don't know that. Maybe your mom told
You
her
don't
she
know that.
felt guilty.
Maybe not.
Well, cut
We
all
had-
that out
we
so
had
I
a-
don't look discreditable.
we had a
Because Danny's
great-
trying to discredit my new business I'm
I'm not
opening up on the
trying to
side.
discredit it. I'm trying to prove.
All right, read my
its
chart,
validity.
Grace.
Okay.
Wolf, leave it
Oh my
in.
god.
Okay,
Wolf,
cut
leave it
that
in.
out.
Wolf, leave it in. Hold on. Wolf, leave it in and
Oh my
slow
god!
it.
Oh my god, Grace, what's my chart?
Leave it down- leave it in and
wait,
slow it down.
wait.
So you have a lot of Gemini in your chart.
I could have told you that. Also, did you just shush me?
Because I'm a Gemini.
Audrey
I don't
just-
know. Okay.
Audrey just said, shh. Listen, man.
She was right.
If
So
this is gonna work,
I didn't hear it. Well, there's so many things that you're like, Wolf, cut that out.
Whoa,
Wolf,
Audrey
cut
just shushed me on the podcast.
It
And
was
guess
warranted.
what?
Grace has been trying
And
to make
guess
this hard
what?
for a long time.
I deserved
Yeah,
it.
you
You're
did.
Just like,
Danny
You
had 1 cup of
did.
fucking coffee.
you're just like those teachers growing up, man. You're just like them.
good.
Danny, do your handwriting book. Danny, stop talking. Do your math homework.
20 minutes.
Shut the hell up.
We have 20 minutes? Are we in some kind of time warp? I swear to God, I'm in a time warp. This isn't real. I'm dead. Okay, Grace.
New
read the
seg.
chart.
Audrey gets pulled into a
please.
wormhole. Stop.
Grace, read the
Oh
chart.
my god.
So you have I'll start with your big three. So that's your sun, moon, and rising. So your sun is where the sun was when you were born. The moon is where the moon was when you were born. And your rising is what was coming over the horizon. So those all mean different things. Your sun is like what most people know. So if someone asks what your sign is, you'll say you're a Gemini.
Yeah.
I'm also Gemini. Danny's a Taurus.
Danny's not speaking to either of us.
Did everybody hear what you just
Yeah, go ahead. Listen all you want. Won't be hearing a peep from me.
Then why are you still talking?
You're still.
Then why
You're
are you
literally
still
still. Well, you don't hear a peep from me. I'm just in the corner. It's like, okay.
You won't be hearing a peep from this guy. Proceed.
Okay, good.
Your moon is more of who you are when you're alone. So it's more of like your inner self. A lot of people will relate to that more than they will relate to their sun sign. And your rising is sort of your people's first impression of you. Like how do you come across to other people?
Love that.
So
So tell me it all. Break the news.
so you are a Gemini sun, a Gemini moon,
Oh, God.
and a Leo rising. So
Are Leo's crazy?
a little, but they go really well with Geminis, because they're similarly crazy.
Zoom in.
The the difference is that Geminis are an air sign. They're a mutable air sign, so they are more open to change. And air as an element is more intellectual, more in your head.
So I'm an air sign.
Yes.
Ooh.
And Gemini specifically is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So you are good with words. You're very smart. You can be very articulate. And that is true for both sort of how you exist and then also how you exist just with yourself.
I love that.
And then your rising is Leo, which means the way that you come across to people when you first meet them is very outgoing, very bold, very outspoken, which I can vouch is true. You are sort of unafraid in that respect. Leos are a fixed fire sign, so there's like different things that go with each signs. There's the element and there's the modality, and so modality is whether it's cardinal, fixed, or mutable. Fixed are the most like stubborn. They're most like in their sign. And as the fixed fire sign, fire rules passion, creativity. So with that, you come across as a very outspoken, very smart, passionate person. And the fire also helps you be able to follow through on things. I have almost no fire in my chart, and
Really?
yes, and I am unable to follow through on anything.
That is so wild.
So-
I just think of you as this very like smart, like great. I went to the Whale Rock Festival with you, and I
Yes.
felt so impressed by the teamwork and like under your guidance. And it was like you were very organized. You had your charts. You were very adapting to everyone's energy, and I was like, Grace is the shit. So I don't agree. I felt like you've like made the whole festival because you followed through with what you were supposed to do until the end, and it made everyone's experiences amazing.
That's because I had a strong structure and routine. I have a lot of Taurus placements, which is also fixed like Leo, but it's an earth sign, so it wants more rigidity. It wants a little bit more structure. It really likes routine, and so that's part of it. Is that showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that make any sense?
No, it does.
Cool.
No, it really does. So what are the does it tell you like the downfalls?
So I can tell you what placements in your chart are most prominent. What's interesting though is that so you have a lot of earth and air placements, so that means that you're sort of being pulled back and forth but with yourself a lot, because one is really like what air is mutable, it is intellectual, it is creative, it's flowing around, And then Earth wants, like I said, structure, routine. It wants that stability. And so you're constantly going back and forth with yourself about whether or not you want to chase whatever whim comes across you. Or do you need to be more practical? Do you need to be a little bit more rigid with yourself and play it a little safer? Do you need to be a little bit more rational? I feel like when it comes down to it, you are not a super emotional person. Or if you do, you either process your emotions completely by yourself or through your comedy, because that's a way to get it out without it being too heavy.
This segment's brought to you by Strange Beats and drinking your
Um,
They're gonna hate that. They're gonna be like, that is not.
but yeah, you've got a lot going on.
Do you
Chris, like you have 7 days
Do you relate to this, Audrey?
left to die. What?
Do you relate to all this?
Yes, every single one of it. I think my brain is constantly. I'm like, what if there is no such thing as ADHD? What if everyone with ADHD is just air, earth, fire, boy, girl, Geminis?
I think that sentence proves that ADHD exists.
I think Danny's right.
But yeah. What is it? I want to hear what you like. Do you relate to all your things?
I think so. I think that, so for me, I am a Gemini sun with a Taurus moon and a Scorpio rising. So my Taurus moon makes me very stubborn. I like things to be a certain way, and I don't like that to be disrupted. I will find myself settling into a routine, and the second I get settled into it, I'm like, I'm done with this. Something new needs to happen right now. Can't stick to it. 'Cause I also have a lot of earth and air, so it's a constant
Battle.
back and forth with that. There's also more to astrology than just the planets. There's also houses, which are like rule different aspects of your life. So there's a whole other realm of that I don't know if I will be able to concisely explain.
Ooh. Wait, what do you mean, like the houses?
So,
We already went over that. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff.
and where are we in the house? We're in the refrigerator.
We're in the refrigerator.
So
Actually, that was interesting to hear about you. And I felt like everything about that was true.
That's what's weird. It's like it's all. I don't think it's been wrong. I don't think anyone's been like, that's not me.
And not true
never
in
heard
like a
that.
way that's vague in general.
It was all very specific.
You know, in like I think people's perception of horoscopes, at least mine was, it's like sometimes you get sad, and other times you're not so sad, and it's like I am both of those things.
You got
sometimes.
it so right.
You know
Nail
what I mean?
on the head.
Sounds like mine is like dangerous almost, to a sense where it's like dangerous to yourself almost. You know what I mean? Like you can't control a lot. Your brain swishing back and forth, which is like dangerous. Not to like people around you, but like
It's just like you
to
get
your-
overwhelmed by yourself a lot.
yeah.
You also have a Leo Mars.
Oh, what's that?
Mars is sex, passion, creativity, and also anger.
Oh.
So when you're upset about something, it is about you and it is everyone's problem.
Oh.
It is like you are going to stay mad and you are going to hold on to that.
Oh.
And even if you're like, no, I'm over it, you're going to bring it up because you don't want to let it go because you were so personally slighted.
Wait, I don't think that. I've actually had the opposite problem.
Really?
Where people have really wronged me and I've let it roll off my back, and people like it's to the point where like someone has literally, I've had several people come up to me and be like, you need to start standing up for yourself. I believe that. But I've tried to be really clear with what I want and what my, like, hey, this is what I want, or like, this is how I feel about like what you're saying to me. Like when, just like if someone says something offensive to me, I'm like, oh, like, but I it's the opposite. Like I should be getting angry at things and like, but I make it, it's almost the opposite.
Yeah, where it's only your problem.
I don't
And
even
you don't
make,
wanna
or
rub it.
sometimes I don't even let it be a problem, which spirals into a push down emotion that will resurface probably. But I try not to. That's why I got along with like different groups of people so much, because I forgave so much, a lot, and I would just still. So that one is off.
Do you intellectualize your feelings a lot? Like,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Like you squash them down because you're like, well, I shouldn't be so upset about it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And it's not worth it because of all these other reasons. And if I can communicate it as this, then no one will get upset that I'm upset.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Or I will put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And I'll be angry there are times where I'm very angry in the moment, but I always let it slide.
Yeah.
And like, I guess maybe if someone else brings it up, then I'll be like, yeah, I don't know, they pissed me off. But I won't like say it unless somebody else would bring it up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make it an issue because I'm afraid of people hating me and conflict. I'm a pushover. I let people treat me like shit 90% of the time. It's a very bad. It's like Veronica has seen it. Like everyone sees it.
I thought you were gonna say.
I
Veronica
also
does
thought
it.
you were gonna
Oh,
say that.
no,
I was like,
absolutely
where
not.
are we
Veronica-
going with this?
No, Veronica's never treated me like shit.
Veronica's wonderful.
Yeah, Veronica's wonderful.
Friend of the
She's
pod.
the best. She literally would never hurt me like that. But she has seen people actively do that, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Well, it's because I literally give off the energy. It's like that people think they can say or do what they want, and it's wild. And sometimes I don't stand up for myself. But I'm also an adult, and I'm also not in that position too much. Like,
Yeah.
I also am careful. I don't put myself. But sometimes you can't help it because
That's
it's
fair.
in the world you're in, and that just happens.
Yes.
But
What's the person who's wronged you the most, and what's their name?
so this is our segment called Naming Names.
And what's their mailing address?
And what is it? And tell everybody
Let's
where
just
they
let's
live.
just fully
Where
fucking
can,
dox
where can I
them.
fucking find them?
But do you want to do your chart?
Sure. I feel like you bring things up, not in a way that's complaining or bad, but like you'll voice, I think, when you're like around friends to be like, oh, like not fuck that guy
Oh,
or
fuck,
fuck
is
that
it-
girl. But
Do
like,
I do that and I don't notice?
Yeah, but not like in a way that's like a problem or bad.
But only
It's
if you
just like in a, like,
only
hey-
if you brought them up first, right? Because if
Not
we're
always.
talking
No.
about
I've heard you just talk about a thing
Yeah.
and then be like, they
Really?
actually, I'll be
Or
like,
you'll bring it up.
you'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck that person, they fucked me over. But like,
What?
whatever.
Or you'll bring it up as like a question, be like, "Hey, was that weird to you too?" And I think that you do that, and then if someone's like, "Oh yes, that was rude," you'll be like, "Right, wasn't that rude?"
Okay.
yeah.
But then that's it, right?
Well, no, like you do it in a way that's like this. I'm gonna.
This is so wild.
You do. I've noticed that you do this. And again, it's not like a negative.
No.
It's like a way people just
Well,
speak.
It's
This
just
is
like a
good.
way you exist. It's not good or bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just very.
But like when your mom will be like, "Oh, I was watching this actor on this show, who I don't really care for, by the way," and then they'll keep telling the story.
What actor do you have in mind?
My mom. I shouldn't say who my mom doesn't like. Well,
We might have them on the pod, but just say
name
it.
names. No. But like you'll do that. You'll be like telling a story, and then you'll be like, "Yeah, I'm like met up with this person, and this person was there. That person and who like
Oh, but
fucked me
that's
over
like
that one time."
friends, right? That's like friends talking to friends. But that's not like.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's bad, but you'll say it to like me.
But,
But you'll say it
I can only think
unprompted.
of one person I've ever done that to with. That's it.
Yeah, I've just like noticed.
Right?
It. Again, not in a critical way.
No.
Right.
But you'll just be like-
But seriously, wasn't that just one person?
I've maybe heard like
No way.
a couple times. It was enough to where like when you were saying that, I was like, "You do that."
But with one person that
No.
really wronged me.
I think
right?
I've heard like 2 or 3.
really.
Casual.
But you don't like harp on it, and you don't.
You've
like,
heard that?
When we were at Whale Rock, yeah, that happened a couple times.
You don't like talk
With
shit about
who?
people, but you'll be
didn't
like,
say it.
"This person did something mean to me."
Well, we're off air. I'm actually so curious. You gotta tell me.
Yeah, and I'll also tell you who my mom doesn't like. It's never who you're gonna guess.
Wait,
My mom
she-
hates Phil Collins, and it's like
What?
it's like a
Oh, he's our
known
next
thing.
guest, so.
Hates Phil
Oh,
Collins.
Phil
Sorry, Phil
Collins
Collins. Sorry, Phil.
Phil Collins does the
Um,
music for No Pill Friday.
Wait.
Damn,
I wanna
we're
hear
fucked.
I want to hear your chart.
Sure.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want me to take my muzzle off?
Danny,
You're
so dramatic.
You fucking
Read
did
down
that
this
to
sucky
yourself.
chart.
You did that to yourself.
So you literally, Grace was like,
Guys,
and then
guys.
Danny was like, ah.
Guys. Yeah, I'll speak if you want me to.
I'm impressed that you were quiet for that long.
It's
Now
okay.
I'm just like,
It's okay, everything.
now I'm like in my head, I'm like, who have I?
Danny, when's your
said-
It's
birthday?
because I enjoyed hearing things about my friend Audrey.
Are you a May birthday?
No.
When's your birthday?
Are you supposed to guess or am I supposed to tell
No,
you?
tell me.
April
April what?
24th.
Thank you.
Running.
I listened to yours and you're gonna respond to text during mine. Audrey's catching up on emails while my birth chart
what
is
year
being
were you born?
discovered. 1995.
Cool. Do you know when?
I think at 4 p.m.
Cool.
I believe I'm an afternoon baby.
And are you Indianapolis as well?
Yes.
I'm so freaking smart.
Feel free to check out.
Okay.
I like hearing things about you.
Okay.
The same way I like hearing things about myself to understand myself. I like hearing things about you to understand you as a friend and a co-host. A friend and a collaborator.
So you are a Taurus sun with a Pisces moon.
Pisces.
Veronica's Pisces.
And a Virgo rising. So you have a lot of earth in your chart, which means that inherently you are pretty grounded. You're pretty stable, like in your relationship with yourself. As a Taurus sun.
Danny's like,
What?
As a Taurus sun,
this is gonna turn out so well.
You're stubborn.
Okay.
Like-
Audrey, am I stubborn?
a little bit.
Sorry, every single word that I've ever known just like flew out of my brain.
It's okay.
Um,
Like we'll stick it. We'll
No
sit
Pill
and-
Friday.
We'll sit and stubborn for a little while. We're stubborn.
And that's all we have time.
That's it.
and that's it.
That's it.
Thanks
you
for tuning
dork.
in
Go
to
work
No
on
Pill
that.
Friday.
I know I'm a work in progress, guys. You can say what you
Well,
want.
we
Tauruses
all
are stubborn, but they're also very grounded. Tauruses have a very strong sense of self. They're a fixed earth sign. So the earth sign lends them like the routine and stability, and the fixed, you're stubborn and like you are comfortable with yourself.
That's nice.
Your Pisces moon.
Oh.
Pisces is a water sign, and it's a mutable water sign. Pisces placements are off in space, in their heads, completely like exist on a different plane. Like you just like float off to like dreamland whenever you're not around people. Like the second you're alone, you're like, let's explore every single avenue in my brain and just like live up there for a little bit, because why would I be in reality when I could just like float around for a while?
Yeah, I live in this brain of mine.
Yeah.
Stay up.
Yeah. And it also
I have a little
inclines
studio
you,
apartment right in the noggin, and I hang out there.
but both of those incline you a little bit to privacy as well. You're not a secretive person, but you're pretty private. You don't like, I mean, I know that we're on a podcast where you do talk about like who you are personally, but like casually,
Is
like
this true so far?
Kind of.
casually, I like don't know that much about you.
Okay.
Like you're not secretive, but you don't also like, you don't volunteer information about yourself all the time.
That's true.
And that is something that we have in common also. I don't volunteer information
Why
about
don't you
myself very
volunteer
often.
information? I don't think people care.
No, I think we have to. I know a lot about you, but I feel like it's because I've asked you.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I'm the same way. I do it
care.
because I assume that like, I don't know, do you care about this
yeah,
part?
not
Unless
even,
you
like, in a negative
explicitly
way.
ask, I'm just not going to volunteer it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think people are like, fuck you, we don't care about your life. But I'm like, do you care? Like,
Also,
I don't think people like. I don't expect people to care about my
But they
backstory.
do.
bringing it back to
It's fine if they
astrology,
don't.
both
This
of
isn't
us,
a pity thing.
both of us have our
I don't
suns
care about a lot
in
of
the
people's lives.
8th
But
house.
I care. Oh, wait, hold
Clip
on.
that. Just clip that. Clip
I don't care a lot
Oh,
about
no,
other
no,
people's
no,
lives.
Clip
no, no,
that
no,
right
no.
there. Clip
That's
that.
not what I
Danny
meant.
said,
there.
I don't give a fuck about you.
Fuck
I
about
don't
anyone.
need to know everything about everybody.
No, it's true.
But the people that you do choose to spend your time with, I'd like to hear everything.
It's interesting. Both of us have our
I don't
suns.
expect people to care about me. Sorry.
Both of us have our suns in the 8th house.
Gonna be overthinking that for about 2 weeks.
Which is the house that rules secrets and transformation. So
Okay.
both of us are just inclined to be more private. In general, like we're not going to just be like, oh, here's my whole life story. If someone asks me how I am, I'm going to say, oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, here's everything that happened to me today.
Yeah.
Here's my feelings about the last 14 minutes.
Yes,
How are you? Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Sorry, I'm still stuck in that last moment, huh? I think also because my ADHD, I get bored easily, or I just like want to go back up into my brain. So when people are talking for a really long time, unless we're having a conversation, I'm like,
do you have to like remind
zoned
yourself to like engage with people, like nod and like
sometimes.
blink?
But when you meet someone, like someone will start talking at you, not like you're like, I want to talk to you, let's have a conversation, but someone will just be like, hey, I'm from Ohio, blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I'm like, and you'll be perfectly polite, but I'm just like, I'd be happy if this ends.
Also, if your
soon.
opening line to anyone is hi, I'm from Ohio.
Well, I was wearing an Indiana shirt at the gym, and some guy came up to me and was like, "Go Buckeyes! I'm from Ohio. Cincinnati's
It was Dave Chappelle.
the greatest metropolitan area of."
Dave
And he
Chappelle's
just started
from
telling me
Ohio.
like facts about.
Again, if your opening line is "I'm from Ohio," you should not be saying anything.
It was,
we gotta wrap
it
it
was
up.
Dave Chappelle,
So-
and I just snubbed him.
We gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up.
Snubbed.
I'm afraid it's gonna
Gotta wrap
affect
it
my
up.
future.
We gotta wrap.
Oh, you guys haven't made your
You wrapping
announcement.
me up?
She shushed
Well,
you again.
actually, Wolf wrapped it up, and I just saw in the
He
corner.
also
my
immediately
$20
then said,
Target
"No, you don't
glasses.
have to." So
Well, I do have to.
you
get
do have
to
an
it.
announcement to make, though.
Yeah. Should we make our announcement?
Let's get to the announcement.
Nicki Minaj will be on.
We're being acquired. We're being acquired by Nicki Minaj's company.
Nicki Minaj just bought out Jam in the Van.
Nicki Minaj bought out this podcast
Therefore,
specifically.
and she saw our work
That's-
and said, "We will buy out Jam in the Van as long as No Pill Friday doesn't exist." So we will be off.
Audrey,
We'll be in my garage, which I
Audrey,
don't
we have
have
a big
yet.
reveal. Tell everyone about the big
Okay,
reveal.
we are changing our podcast format. We think it's been super fun being ADHD, and we're going to continue to be so. However,
We don't really have a
Yeah,
choice.
I was gonna say
This
that
is
doesn't
not
seem like an
gonna-
option.
that's a great question.
Coming next.
Uh,
It's coming next episode.
It's coming next episode. The name when we think of it, and here's the thing. We've realized what does the best is storytelling. We love to tell
What we
stories.
enjoy doing the most.
And we love doing those. And we also have someone who can put in sound effects for the stories and excitement. You've seen his work when I burp and all those things, and it's incredible. And Danny and I are gonna choose a theme every month.
A
and
new
then
theme every month.
Tell a story and tell stories, real stories, in elaborate ways with that theme. And
We're gonna dive into a new theme every month and the stories that come with it.
and they're
we will
fun
explore.
themes like
Every
While
month.
still having
scam
ADHD.
artists,
Every week.
haunted, paranormal. What if I just said things that were terrifying?
Spooky.
Murder.
Scary.
We're gonna pick a new
Accidental
theme every
deaths.
month and dive into it.
What?
We're gonna pick a new theme and we're gonna dive into it every month,
With stories.
Month or week?
and we're gonna explore the stories that come with that theme.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
And
they're
we're
gonna be
gonna-
really interesting stories.
And we're just gonna banter.
You sound like you're trying to convince yourself.
We're gonna
I know,
banter.
I'm
We're
trying to
gonna
convince
talk.
myself the podcast will be good. These will be good stories, I swear. Okay, and we're really excited. So
We're gonna
we'll
have a
see
lot
you
of fun.
next week to those who knows. We'll see you.
We'll see you next week for the unveiling of our new pod.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And that's yeah.
It feels good to be me. Every time I breathe, everywhere I